After a quick visa run to Vietnam to take in the sights, enjoy some of the serenity, and also, of course, to buy some fish food, it was very quickly time to fly home, get back into Bali, and turn this shell of a tank into an actual paludarium. Next up, we need some rocks. Usually you go to the store, you pay a lot of money for a little bit of rocks, but here we're just going to use some from the beach. We're going to use igneous rocks. Because they are from the beach, we're going to have to break one open. Nope, not that hammer. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to test it to make sure it's okay for a freshwater tank. To do that, we just pour plain white vinegar on it, and if it doesn't bubble, we're good. So what we did there is we created this little compartment for the filter where all the water is going to get sucked in through the holes which we drilled. And then I'm going to throw some of this old sponge, which I have from an old filter, maybe some of these bioballs in as well, to create a filter system where it's just a passive suction through, and then nice filtered water will come back down and over the entire fish tank. Moment of truth. Okay, so the final test is I'm going to try putting the filter in. So the pump worked just fine with the filter media in and everything. The only issue was that the water was coming up and over the top, and I didn't want it to actually flood the kitchen. So I decided to get the super glue out and create a nice little top to then be covered with rocks so you wouldn't actually see the waterfall itself. The only issue is that super glue is messy as hell. After that foolish escapade into super glue, I think it's time to start playing stones again. For that, I'm going to bring out the big guns, the silicone, and otherwise it's just time to see how we can make this fit. It's going to be interesting. Usually you start from the bottom up, and here we're going to want to mount them going up this way. I'm going to be doing it partly from middle up, top down, and bottom up. I have no idea how it's going to work. Might be horrible. We'll see. Of the many necessary tools when scaping, cold beer is always a good start as well. After endless hours of playing with these rocks, trying to get them in, I had the genius idea of turning it sideways and letting gravity do the work. Yeah, it was a wise idea. After this, it was just attaching the background with a little bit of water, and then getting ready to plant. Break them up and get ready to stick them in.
So, in the cursed nature of this video, the battery just seemed to die just as soon as I was ready to plant. So, I had to keep on going planting. So what I did is I took this nice little Riccardia moss. So it's a moss that I was able to source here in Bali from a friend's shop. I just tore it up into pieces, and then for the Riccardia able to go under the water, I just used a bit of super glue. Glued it to the rock, put the moss on down, and it works to hold it in place. The bottom layer dies off, but the rest will stay fine. And then the top one, I just kind of put it in places where the water was naturally flowing, just to keep the roots wet. It is an aquatic variety, so therefore, yeah, it's meant to be underwater. And then with all these little roots, I just bent them, trimmed them, tried to put them in places. Make it look natural, that the roots are coming down and around, but otherwise they're all just freestanding on there, and that's pretty much it. Sorry, I just put books here to hide my dishes, but let's get it going.